Welcome to Better Golf. I'm Paul Dyer under a tree.
And I'm Ian Holloway, under a tree.
And this tip is about what to do when you're
under a tree.
So here we are.
Under a tree.
And obviously this tip is about what to do when you're
under a tree.
So when you're
under a tree.
And what can happen a lot is that you swing back and unfortunately there's something in the way. And I see a lot of golfers totally unable to deal with this type of situation or something similar. You know, when in some way the backswing's restricted a little bit, or you know, it could be anything, any type of thing that makes you have to swing slightly different. But what I do see is lots of kids and juniors are able to do this.
Kids and juniors, they practice things like this all the time. They just throw the ball in different situations and they adapt to the situation. Basically, in golf, you want an answer for every question that's thrown at you on the golf course. And if the ball's here, you've got to answer the question. And I think if you stand there and just try and make a normal golf swing, you're going to really have trouble. You've got to adapt yourself to the situation and make a lot of practice swings and figure out how this is going to work. And I think there lies a big tip for most people, is that most people, they don't take any time to assess the situation and get in there and think, well, if I do this or I swing it like this and I'm going to miss the branches or whatever, they just go ahead and just try and hit a normal shot and they don't adapt to the situation.
And I think that's really important for playing shots when you're not under a tree, for example, in that because I'm going to have to figure out, well, can I swing a bit more inside and maybe hook it a bit, or is there some way I could sort of use my wrist differently and not crash into here and so forth? Having that type of, you know, being able to adapt to those sort of situations means that in slightly different lies on the fairway, you know, even if it's just like a sloping lie of a few degrees or, you know, a bare lie or a divot or something, I'm much better able to deal with all those questions on the golf course too.
Yeah, the first question you've got to ask yourself when you're in a situation like this is, how can I get a strike on the golf ball? Is it even possible a bigger swing to make and then get the ball going out there further, or do I just need to make a little chip out?
Yeah, exactly. And in this situation where, you know, we're going to just chip over thin here and get it, you know, going sort of across the lake onto the green, to be honest, you'd have to ask yourself as a mid-handicap golfer whether this is all that clever to get a sand iron out and have a massive swing with all this stuff in the way,
yep,
and whether it's maybe not better just to play somewhere else and figure out, well, okay, maybe I can't hit the wonderful shot I was planning, but maybe there's a different way to go and I'll surely make a 3 or a 4 from here, rather than hit the tree, miss the ball, top it in the water and so forth. And we have this great game that we play in order to actually practice this type of situation.
Yeah, Mission Impossible is an amazing game that kids play actually automatically. They just throw the ball in the most difficult situations, and they just say, right, play it from there.
Yeah, and this is one of the things you do, you know, the ball on dried grass, and now I've got to try and get it out. So Mission Impossible is a great game to play. Have a go. You've got to play with somebody else. So I'd get Ian's ball and put it maybe here, and he'd put my ball behind the tree or whatever, and we bet with each other as to how many strokes we're going to need to get into the hole, because getting the ball in the hole in the least number of strokes is what it's all about in this game. Have a go at Mission Impossible and let us know how you do.